And that's why these women wind up alone at, 38, 40, and then completely panicked, right? Which is sad. There are a lot of men that will look at a 22 or 23-year-old woman, and if they want 5, 6 kids or 3 kids or 2 kids or whatever, and they will just say, this young woman who hasn't gone through this career climb is much less stressed, seems much more vibrant and healthy. This 35-year-old who's been through hell and back, and she's been through a lot of guys now because there's been a lot of time, and she's stressed out from work, and she's built this career that I don't really care about, and now she's got all this masculine energy built in that, like, does that undo itself somehow? I mean, who are they going to choose? And that's why these women wind up alone at, 38, 40, and then completely panicked, right? Which is sad. There are.
Hey cousin, wishing you a happy Sunday. I saw this video on Facebook and I wanted to play it. Her name is Jedidiah Bila. She's also on YouTube. I couldn't find that specific video on YouTube, but I did send her stars on Facebook, and hopefully I won't get a copyright strike. But I heard this and I said, let me just jump on really quick and talk about this. I believe women, I'm 47, I'll be 48 in October 11. So I'm Generation X. I'm a part of the generation of women who were told, you're a strong, independent Black woman. You don't need a man. Just go to college and get your degree, girl. You don't need a man. Now, if you've been following me, I teach against this because, like the old preacher said, if you don't need a man, what do you need? A woman? A question he asked. I have always wanted to get married, and I met my husband at 34, got married at 35. And so a lot of women, how many boss babe career women end up alone is you go to college, my age group I'm talking, you be the strong, independent Black woman who don't need a man. Then you get 40 and you panic and then you settle. We talked about Ebony K. Williams, how the mammy asked her about the bus driver, and she was just like, what am I doing with the bus driver? And how so many people were offended, but she is right in that if she go marry the bus driver, a man she doesn't want, that's a panic. You're panicking to go marry somebody who really doesn't match you, what it is you want in your life and where you are going. Nothing wrong with the bus driver if you want a bus driver. But for those of us women who desire more accomplished, more established men, there's nothing wrong with that. And it's like when I was growing up, and still today, Black people have a problem with successful Black men. They have a problem with the white collar guy. They don't, do you know how I was talked against and badgered against marrying the white collar guy? Oh, the guys that work on Wall Street, they ain't no good. They gonna abuse you. They gonna cheat on you. Come over here, get brother so-and-so who's on Social Security. Get this brother, help him to build his his business, a mechanic. I even had them trying to push a man on me that couldn't read and thought because I love to read and I'm an author, then I can help him and teach him to read. Are you kidding me? A grown man who can't read, and you think that's good enough to be my husband and I can marry him and respect him and adore him? Like, Black people were against women marrying successful Black men. And I remember walking down University Avenue in Newark at Rutgers, because even those women at Rutgers who, you did work study with, and they were trying to get you to marry. One lady, never forgot her. I will never forget this woman tell me to go down to the Green Mile. That's Delaney Hall, I think it's called. It's the jail in Newark. I think it's called the Green Mile or something like that. and get in line and get me one of those men coming out of jail, because she had married a felon who couldn't get a job. Even though he had a bachelor's, nigga could not get a job. And all the other young Black girls were running around their boyfriends in and out of jail. But me, I was like, nah, that's not what I want. And I remember walking down University Avenue. Every time I passed University Avenue, Conklin Hall, I remember, and I said to myself, I spoke it out loud. There must be at least one Black man on Wall Street, save, that is looking for a wife. That's my husband. And guess where my husband worked when I met him? Wall Street. But as the young lady said, Jedediah, there's a lot of men who will look at I don't agree with the 21, 22. I just don't think women 21, 22, especially in this day and age, should be getting married. I think the earliest a young woman should get married is 28, because by 28, you've lived your life, you've gone to school, you've gotten your master's degree if you want to get it, you've traveled the world, you've lived a little bit. And so right around 28, you're ready to settle down and get married. I also think those of us who are Generation X, we need to teach our daughters and nieces and cousins, that's millennials, and what's coming after millennials, Generation X, Z, the other one, Michael's age. To teach young women that there is nothing wrong with wanting marriage. There's absolutely nothing wrong. And so, young ladies, when you live your life desiring marriage, you will live your life circumspectly. In other words, even though I had a baby at 16, my father in faith, Pastor Bradshaw, pulled to the side and said, don't you have any more kids? You're young, you're beautiful. You can still get you a good husband. And that's exactly what I did. But that very good husband told me if I had another baby, he wouldn't have married me. This man right here, he told, if you had another baby, I wouldn't have married you. But you had Lexi, you was 16, you've built your life, you went to school, you got on your feet, you've been taking care of Lexi. Why wouldn't I marry you? But if I had another child, that would have told him I was not serious about turning my life around. So ladies, when you grow up desiring marriage, desiring to be provided for, desiring to be protected, you will live your life a certain way. There's a difference between a certified used car and a lemon. Okay, there's a difference. You running around having Tom, Dick, Harry, Mary, Larry, Susie, and the 12 disciples and the 12 tribes of Jacob running in and out of you, ladies. Don't do it. Sure, none of us is perfect. We've all made mistakes in our lives. But if you want to turn your life around, you need to turn your life around. Jedediah is right. Jedediah, whose daughter's name was Jedediah. She's right. Because a man who's really looking for a wife, you in your late 30s, 40s, wanting a husband now because you realize I do need a man. And it's you and the younger girls. I'll say age 28. I'll even go to 30. When he's looking at you, you're masculine, full of masculine energy. You know, I hate the word energy, but to explain masculine, you're a boss babe. You're not gracious. You're not kind. You're a know-it-all. You don't know how to be feminine. You do not know how to speak to a man. You don't know the roles of marriage. You don't know how to honor, respect, submit, that sinful, dirty, nasty, curse word. Somebody sent me a video of a young lady on YouTube, and I'm trying to listen to more YouTubers, especially Black women. And the first video I listened to, she said, I got married in my third or late in 40s because I ain't gonna submit to no man. I'm just as equal as he is. I stopped listening. I told the girl, no, sorry, can't listen to her. Not gonna waste my time to do a review video. You have to be careful who you listen to. Look at the person, decide what it is you want in your life, find the people that have what you want, and you listen to those people. If you've watched any of my reviews, Ready to Love, I talk about all the time with the Black women. I say, oh my God, girl, leave the bitch at the job. Leave the boss babe at the job. Leave the lawyer at the job. Leave the judge at the job. Lock her up. When you leave the job, leave her there. Because the men who are looking for wives are not looking for boss babes. They're looking for a woman who can be submissive. What does submission means? It means to come under. Submission means to come under. So I came under Michael's provision, protection, his wisdom. He's the head of the home. He provides, he protects. I come under his leadership. Y'all want to be equal to your husband in that you got two heads in one house. You walking around with two heads on, you're added another head to your neck. That's a monster. Because you're the boss babe. So you're a boss babe at home. You think you're supposed to be a boss babe at home, your boss babe at the work. You think you should be a boss babe at work. The problem is the men that you desire are not looking for boss babes. And so you will probably end up with some man. You will panic, like Jedediah said. You will panic and marry some man who needs you to be the boss. You needs to be the head. But if the man you want, ladies, they don't want you because you are not what they are looking for, because you've spent your life, I don't need a man, I don't want a man, masculine energy, don't know how to be gracious, don't know how to serve your husband. I'm down here in the living room, but I heard my husband was something, noise, wrestling, something going on upstairs. And I went to the stairs and said, Mike, is there something you're looking for? He said, no, I'm getting out a soap out of the closet. Everything is just so nicely packed and I can find everything I need. I said, okay. Do you know how to keep a home? Do you know how to make his life comfortable and make his life easier? Do you know how to do things for him? All my husband have to do is open the linen closet. Everything is right there. Towels, the way he like them, is right there. Soap, right there. Toothbrush, right there. Toothpaste, right there. Mouthwash, everything is right there. Everything is in it. Once you open my linen closet, I've taken pictures of my linen closet to show you before. Everything is right there. So women, you want this high value man, high what earning man, but you do not know how to treat him. You don't know how to submit and respect and honor and adore. Because see, the problem is you want him to fulfill his role of providing for you and paying all the bills, but you don't want to do your role of respecting him, honoring him, adoring him. Because we both have a role to play. I respect my husband. I honor him. I submit to him. But my husband is not a fool, ladies. You must choose wisely. I have to write a book, Choose Wisely. Because a lot of women who are complaining and whining about your husbands, which is why I do not do marriage counseling, you should have done your due diligence to vet him properly before you got married. Before you got married. But that's another video. So, Generation X, me, my age, ladies, I do believe there's somebody out there for everyone. I believe that. I don't believe God created us to live on this earth alone by ourselves. But if you grew up with strong, independent Black women, don't need a man, baby, please start teaching your daughters and your nieces and your cousins. Tell them that was a lie. That was a lie from the enemy to keep especially Black women single. And now you're in your 40s and your 50s trying to get your husband and you can't get one. And you're figure like what's going on, what's wrong, what's happening. And in my husband profile course, I teach the women, get out there, go out there, be soft, be nice, be generous, be gorgeous. Don't lead with my house, my car, and all of this stuff. You have to lead with softness and kindness and gentleness and generosity and femininity and smile. I love you, my beloved cousin. I absolutely miss you guys, but I am working on my book, finalizing it, and just doing some other stuff I need to do. Comment below. Let me know what you think about the video. In Christ I Am is a book I think everyone needs to read because it tells you your identity. And your identity is not a strong, independent Black woman who don't need a man. Your identity is a daughter of the King, which makes you a princess. And princesses are provided for, protected, taken care of. All of our needs are met. I cannot tell you what it feels like to not have to worry about anything. In 12 years, I have thought about how's the mortgage going to pay, how the lights going to pay, fridge, food, nothing. Why? Because I have somebody playing that role, and I in turn respect him and honor him and adore him. And let me just say this: people talk when I talk about myself like we don't have disagreement. Oh, my husband gets on my nerves sometimes. He gets on my nerves at times. And I'm sure I get on his nerve. He will never say, but I'm sure I do. Like this morning, did you make coffee? And I'm like, Mike, I make coffee every morning. You don't have to ask me, did I make coffee? I get up. I'm a morning person. I'm up at 4 o'clock. I was up at 4 o'clock this morning. So by the time he got up at 7:30, I had gotten up 4:30, made coffee, load the dishwasher, because the kids, we ordered pizza late last night. Load the dishwasher, cleaned my bathroom. Okay, even though I do have a house cleaner that come once a month, they do a deep cleaning. But every weekend, I still clean my bathroom, clean my tub, clean my sink, clean my toilet. And then I do a Lysol wipe down every morning when I get up. First thing I do is I take a Lysol wipe. I wipe down the lights, the doorknobs, the sink, the shower handles, the toilet seat, and I do that every morning. And then on the weekend, I clean my bathroom. Okay. It's time. I make coffee. I'm up every morning. I make coffee. So don't think that my husband, we don't have disagreements or whatever. My husband works my nerves. Like he worked my nerves on Friday night. I forgot what he did. What did he do? Something he did work my nerve. So don't think that, okay, we're human and we have disagreements and we get on each other's nerves. But at the end of the day, I can go back and tell you why I married my husband. And the reasons why I married him always outweigh him working my nerves or getting on my nerves. And I'm sure I get on his nerves and work his nerves, but he will never say, my husband in 12 years has never said or will never say, oh, you're getting on my nerves. He will never say that. He hasn't said it. He might say it in his mind, but he will not say it to me. So I don't want you to think that. I think some people listen to my content and they think, oh, you're perfect. No, we're not. There's no perfect couple. None. Okay. That means we're human. Okay. All right, y'all. I love you. Comment below. Let me know what you think. 23 the 23,000 guys available on Amazon. I love you. Talk to you later. Bye.